Hello PMP exam students. Today we're going to take a look at the business environment domain very quickly. I'm going to take you through what exactly this is and the sensibilities behind it. We're going to cover plan and manage project compliance, evaluate and deliver project benefits and value, evaluate and address the business environment changes externally for impact on scope, and we're going to talk about supporting organizational change. But let's start off with some very basic questions to get you in that right mindset. What is the primary goal of change management in a project? Take a few seconds and think about what the answer could be. Now, just like the exam, I want you to use the process of elimination. A says to prevent any changes to the project scope. That's incorrect. That's not the primary goal of change management. B, to minimize the impact of changes on the project schedule and budget. Doesn't sound like a bad thing, but let's take a look at C. To ensure that any changes to the project are properly controlled and communicated. Now that sounds more compelling than to minimize the impact of changes on the project schedule and budget, because the project is more than the schedule and the budget, right? So let's take a look at D. To encourage stakeholders to propose more changes to the project. Now that's obviously not correct. So it boils down to B and C, but using the process of elimination, this is the less ideal option. Let's go to the answer and the rationale. The answer is to ensure that any changes to the project are properly controlled and communicated. Change management is a process that is used to manage and control changes to a project. Its primary goal is to ensure that any changes to the project are properly controlled and communicated to all stakeholders. This helps to minimize the impact of changes on the project schedule and budget, and also ensures that changes that are made are consistent with the project's objectives and goals. Preventing changes to the project scope is not the primary goal of change management, as changes to the project scope may be necessary for the project's success. Always have in mind a hybrid mindset when you're answering these questions, because this could actually be from an agile or hybrid or predictive perspective. Encouraging stakeholders to propose more changes to the project is also not the primary goal of change management, as the goal is to ensure that any changes that are made are properly controlled and communicated, not to encourage additional changes. So, my friends, when you think about this domain, you need to put yourself in a mindset of why are we doing what we're doing at a higher level, and how should we be thinking about the interface of projects, programs, and portfolios. And that, my friends, is the first thing that I am going to bring to your attention here in this discussion. So let's jump into the next section, and we'll have more questions towards the end.
As someone getting ready for the PMP exam, it is extremely important that you understand the business environment. But what exactly do we mean by the business environment? That is exactly what we will be discussing today. The enormity of the word business acumen and business strategy. Two very important words the PMI has used in recent publications about the PMP exam and project management in general. Let's get started. Business acumen is the ability to understand and analyze a business situation or problem, and make sound and informed decisions that contribute to the success of the organization. It involves having a deep understanding of the business environment, including its customers, competitors, industry trends, and financial metrics. People with strong business acumen are able to identify opportunities and risks, make strategic decisions, and manage resources effectively. They can also communicate complex information in a clear and concise manner to different stakeholders, including senior executives, employees, and investors. Business acumen is a critical skill for leaders, managers, and entrepreneurs who want to drive business growth and profitability. It can be developed through experience, education, and continuous learning. Let's discuss a very important aspect of the PMP exam business domain. Understanding how projects, programs and portfolios work together for the good of the business. Program management involves the coordination and management of a group of related projects to achieve specific strategic objectives. This approach provides a holistic view of the organization's project portfolio and helps ensure that projects are aligned with business strategy, effectively utilizing resources and delivering intended benefits. Portfolio management, on the other hand, involves managing a collection of programs and projects to achieve organizational objectives. This approach focuses on ensuring that the projects in the portfolio are balanced, with a mix of high and low-risk projects, and are prioritized based on their potential impact on the business. Both program and portfolio management can impact a business in the following ways. 1. Improved alignment with business strategy. Program and portfolio management helps ensure that projects are aligned with the overall business strategy, enabling the organization to achieve its objectives and deliver value to its stakeholders. 2. Better resource allocation. By managing the project portfolio as a whole, program and portfolio management helps organizations allocate resources more effectively, ensuring that the right projects receive the necessary resources and support. 3. Increased efficiency and effectiveness. Program and portfolio management can help reduce duplication and overlap in project efforts, reducing costs and improving overall efficiency. 4. Improved risk management. By providing a holistic view of the organization's project portfolio, program and portfolio management helps identify potential risks and allows the organization to take proactive measures to mitigate them. 5. Enhanced decision-making. With a better understanding of the organization's project portfolio and its impact on the business, program and portfolio management can help improve decision-making by providing relevant data and insights to inform strategic choices. In summary, program and portfolio management can have a significant impact on businesses by ensuring that projects are aligned with business objectives, efficiently utilizing resources, managing risk, and improving decision-making. Now, let's discuss the PMP exam content outline. Domain 3, Business Environment. 1. The project manager should plan and manage project compliance. 1. Identify the regulatory requirements. The project manager should identify all the relevant regulatory requirements that apply to the project. 2. Review and understand the regulations. The project manager should review and understand the regulations and their implications for the project. 3. Develop a compliance plan. Based on the regulatory requirements, the project manager should develop a compliance plan that outlines how the project will comply with the regulations. 4. Communicate the compliance plan. The compliance plan should be communicated to all stakeholders, including team members, project sponsors, and regulatory bodies. 5. Monitor compliance. The project manager should monitor the project's compliance with the regulations and take corrective actions if necessary. 6. Document compliance. The project manager should document compliance with the regulations, including any deviations or exceptions. 7. Conduct audits. The project manager should conduct periodic audits to ensure ongoing compliance with the regulations. 8. Report compliance. The project manager should report compliance to stakeholders and regulatory bodies as required.
So, my friends, I hope all that stuff made sense to you. Now it's time for us to have a summary about all the things we've discussed. So with that said, let's jump into a few more questions. Let's go to the next one. Phil is a project manager working on a munitions cleanup project with the National Defense Department in northern Arizona, where World War II munitions were not properly disposed of. He has several contractors working with him on the project on a per diem basis with very rigorous information checks, people validation before and during the project, health and safety checks from a third party. Which of the following compliance categories must Phil consider in the PLI Agile project? Now hit the button if you need more time, but here's the rationale. This spells out a number of things. First of all, there's environmental concerns, obviously, because we're talking about munitions not properly disposed of. This is common sense, right? The second one says HR compliance. Well, it says people validation. What does that sound like? Validating that people are who they said they are, that they have no security concerns before and during the project, things of that nature. Health and safety checks can also fall into this category, but it says rigorous information checks as well. That would also have to do with some IT. So when you boil it down, definitely more than one area is relevant. And the answer, therefore, is all of the above. Compliance categories such as environmental, HR, and IT compliance must be considered in any project, including an Agile project like the one being managed by Phil at PLI.
Overall, effective planning and management of project compliance requires a clear understanding of the regulatory requirements, a well-developed compliance plan, ongoing monitoring and reporting, and regular audits to ensure ongoing compliance. 2. The project manager should evaluate and deliver project benefits and value. A project manager (PM) plays a crucial role in ensuring that a project delivers the intended benefits and creates value for stakeholders. Here are some ways a PM can evaluate and deliver project benefits and value. Identify and prioritize project benefits. The first step is to identify the benefits that the project aims to deliver and prioritize them based on their importance to stakeholders. The PM should work with the project sponsor and other stakeholders to define and validate the benefits, ensuring that they are aligned with the organization's strategic goals. 1. Identify and prioritize project benefits. The first step is to identify the benefits that the project aims to deliver and prioritize them based on their importance to stakeholders. The PM should work with the project sponsor and other stakeholders to define and validate the benefits, ensuring that they are aligned with the organization's strategic goals. 2. Define success criteria. The PM should define clear and measurable success criteria for each benefit. Success criteria should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound, SMART. 3. Develop a benefits realization plan. The PM should develop a benefits realization plan that outlines the actions required to achieve the benefits. The plan should include a timeline, roles and responsibilities, metrics to measure progress, and how benefits will be realized and sustained. 4. Monitor and measure benefits. The PM should monitor and measure progress towards achieving the benefits. This involves regularly reviewing the success criteria, tracking the metrics, and reporting on progress to stakeholders. 5. Communicate progress and adjust course. The PM should communicate progress towards achieving the benefits and make adjustments to the plan as needed. Regular communication with stakeholders can help to build support and ensure that everyone remains aligned towards achieving the project's objectives. 6. Ensure sustained value. The PM should ensure that the project benefits are sustained over time. This involves developing processes and procedures to ensure that the benefits are integrated into the organization's operations and that the necessary resources are in place to support them. By following these steps, a PM can ensure that a project delivers its intended benefits and creates value for stakeholders. 3. The project manager should evaluate and address external business environment changes for impact on scope. As the external business environment is constantly changing, it is important for project managers to evaluate these changes and their impact on the project's scope. Here are some steps a project manager can take to evaluate and address external business environment changes. 1. Monitor the external environment. Project managers need to stay up to date on any changes in the external business environment, including changes in laws, regulations, and market trends. 2. Analyze the impact. The project manager should analyze the impact of the changes on the project's scope, timeline, and budget. They can do this by reviewing the project plan and identifying any areas that may be affected by the changes. 3. Determine the options. Based on the analysis, the project manager should determine the options available to address the changes. This may include changing the project's scope, adjusting the timeline, or increasing the budget. 4. Communicate with stakeholders. The project manager should communicate the changes to the project stakeholders, including the project team, sponsors, and customers. This will help ensure that everyone is aware of the changes and can adjust their expectations accordingly. 5. Take action. Once the options have been evaluated and the stakeholders have been informed, the project manager can take action to address the changes. This may involve making changes to the project plan or adjusting the project team's priorities. In summary, project managers must stay vigilant of external business environment changes that could affect their project, analyze the impact of these changes on the project's scope, determine available options to address the changes, communicate these changes with stakeholders, and take action to mitigate the risks associated with external changes. 4. The project manager should support organizational change. As a project manager, you can support organizational change in the following ways. 1. Communicate the need for change. Start by communicating the reasons why the change is necessary and how it will impact the organization. Make sure to involve stakeholders at all levels and provide clear information on the benefits and potential risks. 2. Create a clear vision. Develop a clear vision for the change, including specific goals and objectives. Ensure that all team members understand the vision and are aligned with it. 3. Develop a change management plan. Create a plan that outlines the steps needed to implement the change. The plan should include a timeline, milestones, and performance measures to track progress. 4. Engage stakeholders. Involve stakeholders at all levels in the change process. Provide regular updates, seek feedback, and address concerns as they arise. 5. Build a strong project team. Build a team that is motivated and committed to the change. Develop clear roles and responsibilities, and provide adequate training and support. 6. Monitor and measure progress. Regularly monitor progress and measure the impact of the change. Use data to identify areas that need improvement and make adjustments as necessary. 7. Celebrate successes. Celebrate successes and acknowledge the efforts of the team. This helps to reinforce the value of the change and motivate the team to continue working towards the goals. By following these steps, a project manager can support organizational change and help the organization to successfully adapt to new challenges and opportunities.
Let's take a look at our next question. It reads, Phil is a project manager working on a munitions cleanup project with the National Defense Department in northern Arizona, where World War II munitions were not properly disposed of. He has several contractors working with him on the project on a per diem basis with very rigorous information checks, people validation before and during the project, health and safety checks from a third party. What is one key step Phil should take to evaluate and deliver project benefits and value for the PLI Agile project? All right. Hit the pause button if you need more time. This is the logic for the answer. Always take note of what you're being asked. What you're being asked here is one key step Phil should take to do what? To evaluate and deliver project benefits and value. So we need an option that is more tailored towards that. Taking a look here, we've got assess organizational culture, we got verified measurement system, determine potential threats to the project, and use methods to support risk compliance. These are talking about other business concerns, but the one that best addresses benefits and value is verifying that there's a measurement system in place to measure benefits and value. That's really it. So you need to know your content outline, and you need to understand the context of each one of those things. If you take a look at the answer here, it's verify the measurement system is in place. Phil should ensure that a measurement system is in place to track benefits. Here's another question. Phil is a project manager, same scenario, and towards the end it says, which of the following is a step Phil can take to evaluate and address external business environment changes for impact on scope in the PLI Agile project? All right, if you need more time, hit the pause button. This is the logic. Taking a look from the bottom up, it says, use methods to support risk management activities. C, determine potential threats to compliance and schedule risks. But what exactly are we being asked? We are being asked what step Phil can take to evaluate and address external business environment changes. So external business environment changes, this and this have less relevance to what you are being asked. You're being asked, evaluate the external business environment. This has nothing to do with surveying the external business environment. This as well, determine potential threats. No, this is talking about a totally different topic. So it's going to boil down to A and B. If you take a close look at A and B, one is talking about the external business environment, but the other is talking about prioritize impact on the backlog based on changes in internal business environment. We're not talking about internal business environment, so B, C, and D are wrong. And the best answer, my friends, is A, continually review external business environment for impacts on project scope backlog. You got to understand the question as it comes. Number 6, same scenario. Which of the following is a step Phil can take to support organizational change in the PLI project? Hit the pause button, take some time. Here's the answer. So we're talking about organizational change. What is a step you can take to support change in the firm? It wouldn't be assessing revenues and strategy. Revenues don't really have much to do with this topic of change right here. Evaluate the impact of organizational change to the project and determine required actions. It's not a bad one. Let's go to the next one. Verify measurement system is in place. This is really talking about the benefits. So that is different than organizational change as a topic. D, determine potential threats to remaining in scope and on schedule. The threats to remaining in scope and on schedule. Well, this has to do with change to support organizational change. This is talking more about risk. So the best answer, my friends, has just got to be that one, B. To support organizational change, you got to evaluate the impact of the change on the project and determine necessary actions. Here's the final one. Phil is the project manager on an Agile project at PLI. What is another step Phil can take to support organizational change in the PLI project? So, again, using the process of elimination, you got to get rid of those that are not realistic or are red herrings. This is talking about threats to compliance. This is talking about methods to support compliance. This does not have to do much with organizational change in the business context. So let's take a look at C and D. Evaluate the impact of the project to the organization and determine required actions. Doesn't sound bad. Let's take a look at D. Verify the project authorization and sign the project charter if there is none. Well, if Phil is the project manager, D is not in his wheelhouse, A and B are out of it. The best answer, my friends, is C. You got to evaluate the impact to the project, of the project to the organization and determine required actions. To support organizational change, Phil should also evaluate the impact of the project to the organization and determine the necessary actions to take in response to that impact. This will help ensure that the change is successfully integrated into the organization and that the project can deliver the expected benefits. So there you have it, my friends. Over the past number of minutes, we've covered the business environment. We went hard, we went deep, we went into all the minutiae that you need to know. I would highly advise taking a final read of this before your exam. But if you understood the terminology used and the context of the questions, you're going to be just fine. Thank you for joining me. I wish you all the very best. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe on this video and share with your friends. And I'll see you in the next episode. Take care and bye for now.